Hey, Sam, how you doing?
Hey, Amy, how are you? I know you had a lot of respect for Montreal before the series started, and you said that they were not lucky to beat Pittsburgh. After you've seen them 3 games, are they even better than you thought they were?
They're, exactly what I thought going into this series. They're a quick team that if you don't manage the puck well, they come at you real hard. They work extremely hard. They're very competitive. So everything that we expected as far as this playoff series is exactly what we're getting.
We'll go to Charlie O'Connor.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Alain. Going into this series, the Kevin Hayes line was maybe your most effective line, especially offensively. What's your thoughts been on their series so far?
Offensively, it's been real challenging. I think take away that second game there, but for both teams to generate opportunities, it's playoff hockey. There's not a lot of room. It's very competitive. It's very physical. So have they gotten the same looks that they did prior to the opening of the playoffs? Maybe not. But I do know that, they're working extremely hard. Scotty might have had, as far as his puck management yesterday, a little bit more challenging game. But he's such a individual character player that I'm very confident that he's going to bounce back tomorrow with a much better game.
We'll go to Adam Kimmelman.
Yeah, Adam.
Hi, Avi. Just wondering, when you look at the matchups in this series, is there something you can do to get that top line with Couturier and Giroux and Voracek going again, get them away from the Weber-Sherratt defense matchup?
Whether it's Weber-Sherratt or Petrie or Kulik, they're going to get one of those two matchups, and they're good players. Coots' line, they're good players. They got to find a way to contribute. They did yesterday. Their goal on that face-off play was the winning goal. There's obviously getting on the score sheet, but there's a full 200-foot game at this time of the year that's more important than any other time. And I think Coots' line has played well at both ends of the rink.
We'll go to Curtis Rush.
Hey, Curtis.
Hey, Alain. A couple of coaches mentioned it this morning that we're 3 weeks into this bubble now, and maybe we haven't talked a lot about it lately. But the reality is you've only played 3 playoff games in 3 weeks, and I'm wondering how some teams the reality is quite different than what you expected. I wondered if you could just give us a perspective on the demands, maybe not so much for the coaches, because I know you spend a lot of time on video and prep, but maybe the players are having a harder adjustment time.
Well, I can only speak for my group, and there is no doubt that this is a different time, and these are different circumstances. But from the feedback that I'm getting from our group is, we're in a pretty good facility here, and guys are finding ways to keep themselves busy when we're not either at practice, a video session, or playing games. They're obviously talking to their loved ones through FaceTime. And, again, it's a different time, but, I sort of feel that we're very fortunate to have been given this opportunity to be able to play this great game. I do think that we're doing something for people that love sports, whether fans in Philly or fans in the province of Quebec are getting an opportunity through hockey right now for 3-4 hours every other day to watch their team, cheer their team, and forget about what's going on right now in the world. So I think we got to do our part, and this is it.
Go to Bill Meltzer.
Hey, Bill.
Hi, Avi. My question is about special teams. On the PK side, it looked like you guys got back to the sort of puck pressure, sticks and bodies in lanes that you'd shown most of the season and throughout the round robin. Did you feel that the PK course was corrected. On the power play side, what can the team be doing better to generate entries and better looks?
Yeah, there's no doubt that, our power play, we're going to make, obviously, a couple of adjustments there. I do think, though, if you look at last night's game, we were able to force the Montreal team to take 6 penalties. So we obviously worked it hard and spent time in their zone that put him in that position. I do believe in, it's my positive nature that with the personnel that we have and, the way that we were able to make it click in that last 20 game stretch, I tend to believe that in this players and that we're going to find a way to make it click. So I believe in these players. Our execution right now is a little off. We need to make a couple of minor adjustments. We've been talking with that this morning with players and a couple of the players, and we're going to come up with a plan, and I believe we're going to be better tomorrow.
Go to Jordan Hall.
Hey, Jordan.
Hi, Alain. I was just wondering, how difficult can it be to sometimes balance track records of, a player's career with also just the pressure of making adjustments game to game on a guy when, every game is so meaningful right now?
It's a real good question, and it is right now. It's because this is a different time. We usually when you come into the playoffs, you've played 82 games, and you sort of know where your team stands, where the roles are, who's on top of their game and who's not on top of their game. With this here, we had almost a 5-month pause, and you get back into it, and obviously with different track records, some guys have earned maybe a little bit more leeway, but this is what you have to do at different times. And, coaching is about making tough decisions, sometimes for the benefit of the team. That's why our staff and management are getting together, for quite a few hours a day and talking through things. And we obviously have got a few decisions to make and different roles. And we're going to do that for the benefit of the team for this time.
Go to Robert Ferrand.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Coach. You talked about needing to make adjustments on the power play. Obviously, you can do that through video sessions, I guess. But when you have very little practice time, and especially over the next several days, you'll have very little. How difficult is that going to be?
I mean, it's the same for every team that's in the 16 teams that are in the playoffs. A lot of times during playoff hockey, practice time is very limited, to say almost none. So, you do the adjustments that you can through video, through, knowing where certain players are a little bit more comfortable, where certain players are more comfortable with certain teammates. And you give them the opportunity to show what they can do, and that's what we're going to try to do here moving forward.
Go to John Liu.
Hey, John.
So there, Renee. Just a question for you now that we're 3 games in and seeing ebb and flow from both teams in the series. I'm just wondering, how close do you believe your club is to clicking in all facets of its game?
Playoff hockey is so competitive, and there's momentum. From period to period, shift to shift. When you've made the playoffs and you're one of the 16 teams, you're a very good team. For any team to be clicking on all cylinders during the game, it's not going to happen. The opposition is there also. They're trying to get in your way. They're trying to make it real challenging on you. And that's what we have here in both series. And if you look throughout all the series, so many games going into overtime, so many tight games. We had one that got away from us. It had been a long time, like I said, that hadn't happened. But most of our games lately have been hard fought, tight, not just here, but prior, hard fought, tight, and very competitive. And that's just the competitiveness of the NHL. It's hard to get into the playoffs. Once you're in, your chances of winning are as good as anybody else. And that's what makes this one of the best leagues in the world.